Hello everyone. Today we are going to work on assignment number 3. The instructions stay the same. You're going to need a paper and a pencil to complete the assignment. Be sure to ask questions and show your thinking on scratch paper. During the notes and guided practice, you may pause and rewind as needed. Once complete with the notes and guided practice, complete and submit the independent practice. Don't be afraid to contact me for help. The last 2 days we worked on bar graphs. Today we're going to start working on circle graphs. So if we start with the fill in the blanks, a circle graph is an easy way to display part to whole and part to part relationships. Each portion of the circle graph represents a percentage out of 100, where the entire circle has a sum of 100%. Number 1, we're going to use the information below to complete the table, answer the questions, and create a circle graph. So I've already created the circle graph. We don't have to do that. The only thing we have to do is find the percent of students. So if you guys recall, again, the highest percent we can have is 100. So down here at the bottom, I'm going to show my work. I'm going to start with sports. So we know that 16 students chose sports. Now in order to set up my proportion, I need to know my total number of students. So I should have added these numbers first. 16 plus 8 plus 4 plus 9 plus 13 is going to give me 50. So 16 out of 50 students. And percent is always out of 100, so 100%. Again, you guys can cross multiply and divide. I'm going to go ahead and use scale factor because it's faster, because I know 50 times 2 is 100. So if I take 16 times 2, I should get my answer, which is 32%. So I know my percent for sports is 32%. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to do the same thing for student council. So student council has 8 students out of 50. And I want to know what percent that is. So I'm going to go ahead and complete the same steps. 8 times 2 is 16, and I get 16%. So I would do those steps for every single one. I'm going to go ahead and just fill them in. Debate is going to be 8%. Music is going to be 18%. And none is going to be 26%. And if I were to add up all those percents, I should get 100. Now I'm going to answer the following questions. A, explain how the size of each portion of the circle corresponds with the percent of students. So if I'm looking at the percents and I'm looking how big the portions are, the largest portion of the circle will represent the largest percentage. Everything should fall into place. So because sports has the biggest percentage, they also have the bigger section on the pie chart. B, if percent was given and the number of students was unknown, how would you process change? So, if percent was given and the number of students was unknown, how would we process the change? Well, when we set up the proportion, you would set it up to solve for the missing whole. Question number 2. The student council at North Middle School held an election for student council president. The data was displayed in a circle graph. A, if 280 students voted for Morris, then how many students participated in the election? Okay, so 280 students voted for Morris. So I'm going to write 280 in here. And we want to know how many total students. So we're looking for the total. We know that 35% voted for Morris. And that 35% is 280 students. But we're looking for our total students, which is going to be this number right here. I don't know what the scale factor is, so I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to cross multiply and divide. So I'm going to go down here to show my work. 35 over 100 is 280 over x. So I'm going to cross multiply 280 times 100. And then I need to divide by 35. I'm not sure how many times 35 goes into 280, so I'm going to take a guess, and I'm going to say 8 times. 40, 28. Oh, perfect. So 35 goes into 280 8 times. And then I can just fill in the rest with zeros. So my total number of students that took the survey is going to be 800 students. Now we can move on to B. B says if 600 students participated in the election, so that's my total, then how many votes did Suarez win? So if I look at Suarez, he's got 40%. So 40% out of 100. And this time it gave me my total, so total goes on the bottom, so I'm going to put 600 down here. And I'm looking for the number that voted for him. So I'm going to go down to the bottom again to show my work. 40% out of 100, and we surveyed 600 students. Now this one's an easy one to use scale factor, because I know 100 times 6 is 600. So I can do the same thing up top. 40 times 6 is going to give me 240. So my answer would be 240 votes. So when I'm answering these questions, you guys have already done this before. If you notice, every single question I answered, except for the thought process ones, we set up a proportion. So if you guys have questions, please contact me. But here are your notes. Refer back to them and make sure you work on your independent practice. Have a good day.